It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
So as you can see, something went wrong. So my wireless go-to didn't charge overnight. So I couldn't do a live introduction. And I'm freaking out right now. So I'm figuring, what should I do? I'm gonna just dance my way out of this intro. Let's get this review started, y'all. And don't mind my goofiness.
I'm gonna get my bow and kill that thing.
What's up, y'all? Today we're gonna be diving into Mortal Game, a low-budget monster flick so baffling it makes you question the sanity of everybody involved.
First, a joke. What do you get when you cross an owl with a bungee cord? My ass.
Flat characters, absurd monsters, cringe dialogue, terrible cinematography, and somehow a few practical effects that were actually decent. But the cons outweigh the pros so badly, there's almost nothing redeeming here. So here's the premise. A group of hunters who, funnily enough, do very little actual hunting, heads to a remote island to investigate a so-called legendary monster. Sounds promising, right? The kind of setup that could deliver horror, suspense, and at least some memorable tension.
Well?
Instead, the movie wastes its potential almost immediately. 3 of the best characters die almost within the first few minutes of the movie, gone just like that. It's like someone cut the batteries out of a toy you were excited to play with.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
There's Murphy, played by Kevin Lloyd Reed, easily the only somewhat grounded character, stern, disciplined, rugged, a badass if you will. And then he's hilariously murdered, delivering what might be the single funniest, most cringeworthy line in the entire film.
It's not an animal!
This scene perfectly sums up the movie. Serious premise, absurd execution. The lead, Jessie, played by Daniela Alexis Alamahose, is a young female who is meant to carry the story. But she comes across as a forced girl boss with zero depth. She even talks to the monster like they gonna understand her. And the climax delivers the absolute cringiest line of all. Yes, because apparently only men are getting massacred up to this point. There's potential for an interesting protagonist here, but the writers never give her stakes or personality. She's flat, unrelatable, and impossible to root for. The photographer, Steven, Chris, Bill, Eric, Shang-Chi.
You don't know his name? Damn, don't nobody know his name.
Is not energetic and is another meat bag lined up for the slaughter. Everyone else, flat, forgettable, and completely uninvested. No arcs, no growth, no stakes, no personality. They exist solely to die in increasingly ridiculous ways. And when they do, you feel nothing, except maybe a relief that that's one less bland character on the screen. Because frankly, you have a life and you got better things to do. This film wants you to take everyone seriously, but you won't. The dialogue tries too hard to sound clever and ends up fake and ridiculous. Real hunters. Shit, hell, any human being stalked by a large predator in a situation like this wouldn't talk like this. Just keep the shit simple. Ordinary, direct lines would have had more impact. Instead, we get overcomplicated, unnatural speech while the monster mauls their friends and was not the way to go. Yet another missed opportunity. Now, I'm not trying to rip the film just to rip it. I mean, I'm low budget myself, so I can respect a passion project, a dream project, a beginner's project. Completely understand. So first off, let's start with the monsters. First up, we got the carpet. Literally a guy in black running around with a rug on his head, which is hilariously bad. Then there's the Skyrim troll, surprisingly the only decent practical effect of the film, which only makes the movie's unintentional trolling of the audience even funnier. For a shoehorn budget horror flick, the blood, the gore, and the dead bodies, even the troll monster, the second one at least, is actually pretty solid. But the CGI, it's an absolute disaster. The final fire scene, where a single flare somehow engulfs the entire swamp, looks laughably fake and completely ruins the scene of any tension and any climax that movie might have had or tried to build. Speaking of tension, the cinematography doesn't help. Most of the film was clearly shot in broad daylight and then darkened to look like it was a night scene, which kills any sense of atmosphere instantly. Pacing is equally inconsistent. The movie prioritizes cheap jump scares, overcomplicated dialogue, and monster close-ups over story, suspense, or character development. The irony is thick. The filmmakers focus on gore, creature design, and completely ignored the fundamentals of storytelling. 1 hour and 25 minutes later, I realized I could have been watching something actually worthwhile, like One Punch Man Season 3. Wrong priorities all the way. Every death in this movie is unintentionally hilarious. We're talking full-on Troll 2 levels of absurdity.
Oh my God!
Murphy's dying line alone is comedy gold, and the rest of the deaths are predictable, cringeworthy, and funny only because characters are so completely uninteresting. You don't feel suspense. You feel relief that someone else got eaten while laughing at the ridiculousness of it all. Watching the movie makes it painfully obvious that the writers and developers didn't study the fundamentals of storytelling. There's no character growth, the pacing is weak, dialogue often doesn't make sense, and characters make decisions with zero logic. Missed cues for suspense and audience engagement litter the film. And sadly, this isn't unique to Mortal Game. Plenty of modern movies, horror and action films, just to name a few, fall into the same trap. The concept itself, hunters going to a remote island to track monsters or freak experiments, has massive potential. It could have been tense, thrilling, and genuinely scary. Some of the practical effects hint at what might have worked. Instead, we get flat characters, cringe dialogue, terrible cinematography, and don't even get me started with the CGI. It's such a shame. The potential is there, but the execution just doesn't follow through. To put in perspective, Mortal Game is a textbook example of what happens when tension and character development are ignored. Compared to the classics like Alien, Predator, The Thing, The Fly, Events Horizon, Cube, or Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the gold standards of sci-fi horror. Characters are well defined, relatable, tension builds naturally, and the environment and monster presence, every action feels grounded and believable, and you genuinely care when someone dies. The classics understood story, pacing, and suspense. Mortal Game, not even close. It's basically a masterclass in what not to do in sci-fi horror. Mortal Game is unintentionally hilarious. Flat characters, absurd dialogue, ridiculous deaths, and over-the-top monsters make it feel entertaining in a very specific, so bad it's funny kind of way. But unfortunately, I'm gonna rate this one, I want my refund. Even though I didn't pay to actually watch the movie.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot, drink up beer.
Would I recommend it? Only for a laugh or a drinking game, otherwise, skip it. Watch something that respects your time and story fundamentals. Bottom line, wrong priorities, questionable dialogue, flat characters, missed potential, with some decent practical effects overshadowed by CGI disasters, and a film that almost feels like it's trolling the audience itself. So have you seen Mortal Games? Let's discuss. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and please don't forget what to do. I want to take this time to give a huge shout out to my brother Manny at the Emmanuel Gomez for blessing my video and future videos with an original track. He didn't have to do it, but he came through like a true friend and passionate artist he is. I've known Manny for years, going all the way back to our time in the US Navy, and seeing him pour his heart into his music has been inspiring since day one. His channel is all about pure metal energy and him absolutely slaying on that axe, shredding out deadly God level riffs that deserves way more ears. If you love metal, talent, and genuine passion, go show him some love. He's the real deal, and I'm proud to support him the way he supports me. Check out @Emmanuel Gomez and crank that volume. Join me next time on Truly Tame Reviews, where we keep it real even when the movies don't. Until then, keep reading, gather your dragon shouts, equip that Daedric armor, and hire a decent writer. God bless. Jesus is king, and keep chasing your passions.